Marvel movies will have their drama moment and then undercut it with comedy. But I feel like Marvel movies, when they undercut with comedy, they invalidate the drama. This movie had all of it without invalidating any one element.
Hello and welcome to The Talkies, where three filmmakers talk about movies. I'm Kenny.
I am D.
I'm Taylor.
And today we had the awesome, fun privilege of watching Anora. Actually, some of us watched it a while ago. And
it's been weeks for me.
One of us watched it twice.
I did watch it twice,
Yeah, I just watched it, just today.
Yeah.
So, anyway, before we get into our hot takes on Sean Baker's Anora,
go to the Discord. There's a link in the description. Go to the Discord and argue with us about why you liked Heretic. And we didn't.
That's what Discord's for.
Yeah,
Heretic.
It's only for
specifically. Yeah. We have Discord. You can go there. We can talk about movies with you.
Yeah, and we're there all the time, so do it.
Hell yeah.
If you like talking about movies, you can talk about movies with us at our Discord, link in the description.
He just said that.
Oh shit! I wasn't.
He just said
SEO.
that.
You said that?
SEO.
I wasn't listening.
It's for SEO.
It's for SEO.
Verbal SEO.
Search engine optimization.
Thank you.
All right.
I wasn't
Anyway.
listening. So I
Okay.
missed that. Sorry. My
All
bad.
right.
Sorry.
All right. Sean Baker of Tangerine and Florida Project
Yeah.
Both
brings
great.
us Anora.
I love Florida Project.
Me too.
Same.
That's my hot take for Anora.
I adore.
Hot take. I loved Florida Project.
All right. But for real, what's your hot take on Anora?
I really liked this movie.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hot takes are short, so
I'll
don't say
expand.
anything else. Shut
I'll
up.
expand later.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my God.
Go.
Sorry.
Go. Tay.
I thought this movie was not what I expected, and I loved it.
Also, not what I expected. Thoroughly enjoyed the movie, but also didn't like everything.
Jeez, that is a hot.
There you go.
take.
Scolding.
Yeah.
So you hated it.
Yeah. 0 stars. Zero thumbs.
Zero pizzas.
Zero
pizzas.
thumbs.
Zero thumbs.
I don't even put thumbs down. There's just no thumbs.
Oh, it's a paw.
I actually amputated the thumbs.
Like Mickey 17.
Yes. No, I really like Sean Baker. What this film did the same thing that I saw in Florida Project and Tangerine, which is like 90% of the movie, I'm smiling and going, "Oh, he did that!" Like, "Oh, dude." I mean, his movies make me want to make movies.
Absolutely.
Because I see a filmmaker having fun and being inventive, being very non-traditional.
Non-traditional is
for
the
sure.
right
This
word,
one
yeah.
especially really did some wonky things, some of which I'll admit kind of took me out of the movie a few times, but I'm just glad there's someone doing it. You know,
Okay,
I just
so-
think it's really cool.
So I want to start out with expectations going into it. Both of you said that you weren't expecting this. I wasn't either. Mine had to do with the comedic elements. What about you, Taylor?
I had really high expectations going in because of all the buzz around it, and it won big at Cannes.
Right. Yeah, dude.
So I was like, "Oh, this will be a movie. It'll be an interesting movie." From all the trailers, I would be led to believe that this movie was like pretty much a by the numbers romance film.
Interesting.
You know?
From the trailers, that's what I got too.
Yeah.
The trailers were weird.
Weird trailer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this: the trailers didn't really make me excited to watch the movie.
Yeah, me neither.
But I was excited to watch the movie because I knew Sean Baker. So it wasn't really like,
Yeah.
I don't really care what the trailer is.
Right, totally.
Because of what you guys had said, I didn't watch the trailer for Anora. I'd never saw a trailer.
Wow, dude, you
before
should
seeing
watch the
film.
trailer because it's weird.
I mean, I heard that. So yeah, I'll
Yeah.
check it out now. So my expectations was just a Sean Baker movie. So I was like expecting
Yeah,
a
sounds
cool.
good. Yeah.
I was expecting a cool movie. Where my expectations got weird was that within the movie itself, I kept feeling like my expectations were changing as the movie kept like evolving.
What it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it didn't have a consistent pace, for one. It didn't have, in some ways, even a consistent tone. Like, it really did some radical shifts in the movie. And one point, I thought we were really ramping up to some extreme shit happening on screen in front of us. And then watch the movie morph into being much more an emotion-based drama as opposed to an action-based drama.
Right.
You know, and we've talked a lot about how I have this thing where I'm always anticipating what's going to happen next in a movie and making predictions, and usually being frustrated when I'm right about everything, because those are usually lame movies.
Paint by the numbers.
A lot of movies are easy to predict.
I couldn't have predicted anything in this movie.
I was wondering that because while we were sitting next to each other, I kept thinking, oh, I wonder what he's thinking now.
Next time I'll tell you. I'll just keep telling him, like, I bet this will happen.
Yes,
I bet this will happen.
That would make my experience so much better. It wouldn't.
I'm sure. Not everyone likes that.
Some people do. Some people do.
But yeah, this movie definitely kept me on my toes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I loved pretty much everything about this movie. I think if I had to critique it on one thing, it would be that it felt a little bit like I wonder what this movie would look like if uncut gems never existed.
That's what I was thinking.
Interesting.
Too.
Yeah. Like I felt a lot of influence from that. Like Uncut Gems kind of laid a foundation for how a new thrillers can be done.
Dude, yeah. So much. I felt a lot of Uncut Gems in this.
I think I wanted an Uncut Gems ending to this.
What's weird about that?
You know, I think it kind of was a little bit.
Well,
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I kind of see that, but I also don't, because the ending of Uncut Gems is like, spoilers. Spoilers for Uncut Gems.
You haven't seen Uncut Gems?
Watch Uncut. God damn you!
Watch Uncut Gems.
Is he dies, right? He gets fucking
Jesus,
shot.
I haven't seen it.
He gets fucking shot in the face, and yet is like triumphant at the same time.
Sure, actually, that's true.
And and I felt that kind of thing with the characters in Florida Project as well. I was talking to Dee about this on the way home, that even though their kind of tragic setting that they exist in doesn't change because of the story arc of that doesn't change. They still kind of live in this squalor shit, but the ending is like still kind of a triumph of the human spirit sort of moment.
Small win, basically.
Yeah. And
I mean, in Uncut Gems, he's dead on the ground, but he's got a smile.
He's got a fucking smile on his face, and you're just like, yeah,
he won. That's a small win.
This is how I win.
Yeah, and I know, maybe this is like maybe just a real petty take, but I was just like, I didn't want the ending to be that sad. It was just real sad.
That is, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I absolutely loved the ending.
I did too. It was a gut punch.
It was a gut punch. To me, I mean, what?
Don't worry, that was just the aliens.
Right.
Outside our spaceship.
We don't know. Don't say the word. We don't have a spaceship. What are you looking at?
Oh, sorry. I don't know.
All right.
Was that Payman? What if he barked? Yeah, mine got lost. Yes, ending. Thank you. I loved the ending, and this was one of very few movies to make me tear up because of a person getting emotional on screen. And for me, it felt like the ending tied together everything that she had went through throughout the whole movie, and like at the very end, she tried to be the triumphant one, where she comes over and she starts fucking Igor, because that's all she knows. And then he tries to kiss her, she doesn't want to, and then she learns, or something comes down on her that, or at least I felt like, she was like, oh shit, I'm actually living. I'm the bad guy, basically. I'm living a bad lifestyle.
I think Honora learns something about herself in that movie. She learns something I think we, as an audience, know already.
Right.
The character then catches up.
That's how it felt to me. Yeah. And that's why it made me like cry at that moment, because I'm just like, geez, like I'm there with you the whole time, and I'm really wanting you to win.
Yes.
And you're not, and that's
sad.
Yeah.
And I was sad, and I felt that I saw it. I think for me, I disconnected a little bit at that point, because Baker did something wild with the ending of the movie, I thought.
Yeah.
In how much he slowed everything down after a movie that was like frantically paced, like just boom, 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 boom.
Right.
You know, cuts are flying wild and loose, right? And then when we get to literally from she's sent back home with Igor, basically.
Yeah.
It's like a really, really deliberately paced slow burn to the end of the movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that the pacing completely changed though, because like there's down times in here, you know, when she's like with who's the guy's name? Who's the Russian kid?
Oh, Vanya.
When she's with Vanya and he's like playing video games and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's a really chill moment.
No, there's chill moments, but I mean like having shots in between action or dialogue where you stare at one thing for like 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's literally these moments that are to slow down and think and absorb, you know.
The tone gets a lot different.
Yeah.
It's like a crashing down to reality where...
It actually comes with the snow.
Yeah. And it becomes a more depressive sort of tone.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally. Yeah.
As opposed to the kind of fun tone.
Yeah, it's almost as like a heist vibe
Right.
in the first half of the movie.
Right.
Very much, yeah.
Yeah. I also found the sequence of them going place to place, saying, "Have you seen this guy? Have you seen this guy?" Got maybe a little redundant. And that would probably be the end of my critiques of critical critique of the movie.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Jesus, finally. I thought it was going to go on forever.
So it's a 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
Right.
Yeah. What was 10 out of 10 is the casting.
Yeah.
And the
absolutely.
characters in general.
I thought all the performances were really good.
Yeah, there
Dude.
wasn't one weak one.
No.
in here.
The guy, was it Toro or Toros?
Taurus,
The camel coat?
the Wrangler, yeah.
Dude, that guy was awesome.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah.
He
Dude,
was freaking
holy shit,
awesome.
that scene is so fucking funny when he's doing the baptism, I think it was.
when he's in the
Holy
church,
fuck,
yeah.
that is so
Yeah.
funny. That scene was hilarious.
Yeah, I was taken by surprise by how funny a lot of the moments in here. There was a
certainly
lot
was,
of
yeah.
comic moments.
Yeah, it was funny because in the beginning with the party scene, I was like, oh, we're going for real drama because this is real, like, relatable stuff that's happening on the screen right now. Like, I see some real people in real situations. Thus, there's going to be conflict. There's going to be some real gut punches later. And then it started getting really silly with when they went to her house or to his house to have sex, and he's like, special sex?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he like has
It's like, what can I do for you? And he's like, I would like sex.
sex. Yeah. And then he starts making jokes about what he does. And then turns out he's just a son from some rich guy.
Yeah.
And then he like has a boner walking over to the
Open the
door,
door, yeah.
open the door. Yeah. Just really silly moments. And then the whole wrangling both of them together and holding her down on the couch.
Goddamn,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Or
Yeah.
screaming,
Wow.
please stop screaming.
Oh,
Oh,
my
dude,
God.
when Igor
Yeah.
is screaming in her face,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
That is really classic kind of style comedy.
Yeah.
Where it's like a comedy of errors sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, and it felt really funny, and it was weird. Like you said, it was a weird Sean Baker moment because
Yeah.
because I don't remember much comedy at all.
No, it felt like
in For the
Sean
Project.
Baker going a bit like Knives Out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reminded of Knives Out and what you said,
Uncut Gems.
in this movie. Yeah.
And Climax.
I felt a little
That's
bit
funny.
of Climax too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did Climax a little bit. Yeah.
I think it's really cool how this movie can have so many different things going on, and
Sorry, D was being inappropriate.
oh, D, what the fuck?
Oh, sorry, I came.
Thank you.
Oh, D.
That's better. Could you be a little more
Oh.
clinical?
Sorry, yeah. I ejaculated.
Thank
I was trying to think
you.
of the word.
Thank you.
was like,
Thank you
cum?
for that.
Come?
No.
No, is it come?
No.
No, D.
Please. Now tell us.
Ejaculate.
Tell us. Thank you.
We're all big boys here.
Orgasm.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's be sophisticated
Right.
about it.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Moving forward.
Can do.
Can we move
Okay,
on?
Thank you.
We can move
Can
on.
we move on now?
Well,
Thank you. Thank you.
you're the one who stopped.
Can we move on now?
Continue, Taylor.
As you were saying,
Taylor, what were you saying?
Jesus.
I'm
I
gonna cut all
was
this out.
saying.
This is really embarrassing.
What was I saying?
Sorry.
Shit. Sorry, man.
What,
Climax.
Oh, it's ejaculate.
Right.
Right. Go on.
This movie it's really cool how you can have a movie that has all the comedy, all the drama, all the thrills. It's all weaved together in a way that feels homogenous and doesn't feel like one is betraying the other.
Totally.
Like I love bringing up Marvel movies as a point, as a counterpoint.
It's good. It's good because they're popular. So
Exactly.
And it's easy to make counterpoints.
Easy,
with.
yeah. It's like exactly easy to just kind of. Marvel movies will have their drama moment and then undercut it with comedy, but I feel like Marvel movies, when they undercut with comedy, they invalidate the drama.
Sure.
And
totally, yeah.
I feel like this movie had all of it without invalidating any one element.
That's a good point.
And that's because it was like, there's something about having comic moments, you might call it. I'm not sure the right word, where it's like comedy organically coming out of character and performance as opposed to jokes and gags.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
true.
right.
Yeah.
Like one part that kept bringing a bit of a laughter to me was every time Igor would say no. right? And it became a running gag, you know. And that it was funny.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't a joke, it wasn't a payoff, you know. Something about having kind of like really everyday sort of normal funny comments over tragedy and intense emotion.
I think that's what makes it good.
Is what does it.
I think it's the human part of this. Okay, this is interesting. So I was reading a bunch of interviews with Sean Baker.
Sean B.
And what they had said is that Sean likes to bring in empathetic or sympathetic threads into misrepresented classes. And so for Tangerine, for example, you have prostitutes, and here you have sex workers in what was it? The other one, Florida Project. You had
poor people.
You had poor people, I guess.
I mean, that is a class.
So misrepresented or underrepresented classes, and have a sympathetic story with them. And I was like, yeah, I do feel that. But when I describe Honora to someone, it wouldn't be. It was about the stripper. It would probably be about the crazy adventure that she went on, you know. And there was a lot of time spent with her character, and a lot of, like, almost like the entire movie, almost every shot had her in it. Yeah, you know, and it makes me like I've only ever seen Florida Project. I haven't seen Tangerine, but I felt like both of them had those very intimate moments where the characters are so well understood and well communicated that it doesn't matter who it is. He could take on fucking Donald Trump and make him look human, you know?
Yeah, and that was one of the things that I'd say again was kind of unconventional about the movie that I think really worked, was that I want to call it the first act, but it certainly didn't divide up into thirds. Like, this is more than half of the movie.
Yeah,
was her meeting him, right, Vanya, and their strange form of romance forming, and then going off on their love adventure and partying and then getting married, right? That went on for a long, long time before they introduced any real conflict at all into the movie.
And there wasn't even rising conflict. It was just suddenly conflict.
Right. Like, there was no clue to that at all. But because of that long amount of time that we kind of played in that world with these two characters,
you're close to them.
I'm so connected.
Right, absolutely.
So connected. Yeah. And there are so many ways to go about character development, and I'd never seen a film do it quite this way.
Yeah,
I'd say Martin Scorsese, that was really cool.
Yeah,
I'd say Martin Scorsese does it similar, but I'm not sure in the same way, but totally. Like the
where you
idea
stick with a character for a really long time.
Exactly. Yeah. Just live with them, and see what they go through. And it doesn't always have to be like we criticize Death Wish about this. That's really in my mind about how they showed a perfect family, and because they're so perfect and because they're so good, it makes us sympathize. And we're like, that's not building empathy though. That's just seeing things happen, I think if you spend a lot of time, this is the reason why I always say flawed characters are really good, because I think it gives nuance to their performances and nuance to their lifestyle,
Yeah.
And I think it would have been really easy to make Honora Annie a one-dimensional character of just kind of relying on like, look, she's a sex worker,
right?
So, her life must be hard, and now she wants to be rescued by a rich guy, and so we're done. We don't need to develop anything, right? It's obvious. It's right there on the screen.
Yeah.
But letting us have like the better part of an hour of just experiencing her live her life was pretty awesome.
And unapologetic at that, like
very much,
just being with her and seeing what she does, and because of that, like. Even if you're going in with a critical eye, which I'm not sure who would, but if someone came into this movie and was like, "Oh God, a stripper," right, and just like stayed there at that mindset, but like after an hour, you're seeing so much,
and because the movie itself wasn't judgmental of her, right, and that's a fatal flaw I think in a lot of movies is the movie tells you,
what to feel.
Yeah, I mean,
I wonder how that works.
When it's done poorly?
No, I wonder like mechanically, like in a movie. How do you make a movie?
Sure. Well, I mean, there's lots of ways from the way the lighting changes to the sound,
right?
That signals to you that this is a bad thing that's happening in front of you. Feel sorry for them.
Totally.
No,
yeah, there's totally things like that. The shot actually that comes to mind. It was an edit. It was a beautiful edit. Was the first time that we see Honora. She's talking to her customers, right? And there's a shot of her talking to some guy and she gets rejected. And I think that's a beautiful edit because it would be so easy to take that edit out, just not even, because it was a bad shot too. Like someone was blocking the lens as they walked through the shot and you can't really see her face, but you can hear her say, "Oh, hey, do you want to dance? No, you're waiting for someone else? And you sure? Okay." Right? It would be so easy to just be like, "Oh, that's a bad shot. Let's take that out," and instead go straight to, "See, this is a stripper, and she's taking this guy to the back." But that first part humanizes her so much.
Right.
Like, yeah. See, she gets rejected. She's not just a hot thing.
Right. That was the immediate takeaway when the movie starts. Kind of introduces the audience to her work.
Right.
And it very much feels like a job.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, and like having to kind of like have some salesmanship.
Exactly.
Right,
yeah.
And again, I think a lazy writer wouldn't have included that.
Yeah, and she has different speaking styles. She has the customer voice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when she's talking to the one guy who's like, "I don't have cash," and she's just like, "We could go to the ATM.
Right.
Right,
Why
yeah.
don't we go over to the ATM right now?"
Yeah.
And she has like issues with colleagues, colleague drama or whatever.
Yeah, and she has the worker drama was so funny.
Ginger.
It just feels very, it just feels very true to life. It doesn't feel super exaggerated in any one way or lifted above.
Right. The fact that she's a stripper isn't
real life.
isn't a gimmick.
Right,
Exactly.
there's no
Yeah.
gimmick. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And
It's genuine.
There could be any number of ways of telling a story of two young people who maybe get into a relationship over the wrong kind of things, and an overbearing family who insists that it can't remain that way.
Right.
That's why it's not a story about a stripper.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's far more nuanced and empathetic than that.
Right.
Yeah. It's about Honora.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A person.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sean Baker. He has the personal touch.
Good fucking storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wrote, directed, casted, and edited.
Right. That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, he did the editing too.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. That's a visionary there. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Let this man make movies.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish he made them more often.
Yeah. It has been a little bit.
Been a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to see Tangerine now.
Tangerine really surprised me.
Yeah.
It was much better than
It was because of the iPhone, because it was shot on iPhone. You're just like, oh my God.
Well, it's funny. It actually had that going against it for me personally,
Yeah.
because I always thought that was so gimmicky. I was
Right.
like, "Ooh, whole movie's shot on iPhone." Ooh,
But he
but then
actually
you
made a
watch,
good
and you're like,
movie.
"Oh fuck, this is actually a really good movie." I don't give a shit what you shot it with.
That's why I bring that movie up to people, especially when they're talking about cameras and stuff. I said, look, ultimately, it's about how can you tell a story,
Right.
and paint it visually in a frame.
Right.
And if you can do that much well, then it doesn't matter.
Totally.
It really doesn't matter, and it can be a really shitty camera.
Yeah.
and it'll still be a good movie.
Yeah.
True.
Speaking of shitty cameras,
This is the talkies.
this is brought to you by the Talk. No. The lens choices in here I thought were kind of whack. I liked some of the longer stuff that they did. I liked some of their long shots, but some of their wider shots had vignetting on the edges, and
I
didn't.
liked that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the look. I love retro looks and stuff like that. And this wasn't a retro lens, but it looked like it had lensing vignetting on the sides, where we had a little bit of distortion and a little bit of softness. And I don't think it added anything to the movie. But what was weird about it was that I definitely noticed it, and it took me out during those times, and I didn't care whatsoever.
Oh, again, then he's telling a good story.
Yeah, I was the whole time. I never was thinking, oh, bad decision, bad directing decision. I noticed it, and that was it. And that's where it stopped.
He was a real fan of light flare and light leak stuff.
Yeah, and even when that
Lots
happened,
of it.
like usually when that happens in movies, that takes me out. I'm just like, JJ over here, JJ Abrams
Right,
over here. Yeah,
right.
but-
Especially when you can tell they're just like, "Ooh, that's pretty. We should do that because
Right.
it's pretty."
Or even the time I joked to Kenny about the striptease that she did in the living room with her little pink speaker, and the speaker came from diegetic to non-diegetic.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it's a good speaker because it's
All of a
really,
sudden,
really
yeah.
good bass. Yeah.
The mix gets good. Yeah.
And the editing turned into like a music video for a second, but it was, I did not care. It was great.
Yeah, I think this is a cool example of. I think Sean Baker, just in general, is a good example of using all the tools in cinema, like technologically, tech-wise.
Yeah.
Meaning, he'll shoot on an iPhone, and then I think the Florida Project was just I don't know if it was an RE, but it was a digital system they were using, high-end digital system.
Right.
And then this movie, it's shot on 35 millimeter film.
Yeah.
And he's picking these tools to suit the story he's trying to tell. It's not like film is always better, and it's not like digital is always better. It's you need to choose your aesthetic
That's
that
awesome.
suits your story.
I respect the heck out of that.
Exactly. That's why I love digital, because it's just more options.
Yeah.
And that's why it's also important to not forget film, because you want to have as many options as
Wait,
possible.
so you're saying you're not loyal to something?
Exactly.
I don't know if I can agree with
Exactly. I'm not a loyalist.
that.
Like,
Polarization is really the answer, Taylor.
fuck.
Yeah.
this movie had an insane amount of locations,
Oh, I was
Yeah, it
thinking
did,
that
yeah.
was really cool.
it was funny
because it made the world feel huge.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
much was this movie?
No idea.
I think I paid like $6.
Six.
Oh, I
was
did.
a-
Yeah, I
wow.
paid $6
Tuesday.
Yeah, $6.
$6.
That's like half the price of a matinee.
It's
Hey,
Tuesday.
Google.
That's incredible.
$6 million.
How do you shoot?
This had a lower budget than Reagan.
That's what I'm saying. Is that Reagan? Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, so Substance is what came to mind. Which, how much was that? 10 million? 16 million?
About 10 or so.
So that one, I mean, prosthetics and everything aside, because
Demi Moore.
because Demi Moore, yeah, because it's an incredibly amazing movie, but the thing that they lacked was expansion of the world and making the world complex.
True.
Right.
And this one had like
That's crazy.
so many extras in this, right?
Substance feels way smaller
Right?
than Anora.
Isn't that crazy?
I really felt like
You okay there, Tay?
That's mind blowing. What's happening?
Skibidi toilet.
Ah!
I felt like some of the extras were just people walking by.
No,
I'm
so Sean,
almost
I swear,
confident.
Sean
Because
Baker.
that's
he
a
does
very
that.
Sean Baker
Yeah.
kind of thing, right?
I swear that he just gets people in his
Because
movie.
when he was shooting in
Oh,
the old strip in Las Vegas, especially, like that just looked like they just showed up and
Just-
gorillaed that thing.
Well, I know in at least when they shot in Disneyland, that those are all people.
Yeah,
that were just there.
Well, what's
yeah,
funny
because
is
they weren't supposed to be there.
right.
Disneyland is got to be one of the hardest places on the planet
Right.
to guerrilla filmmake.
Yeah. Well, those shots look pretty like a person was running around. With
It did, yeah. It kind of shows in the movie,
does.
but point is, this movie, Honora didn't need to go to Disneyland. They just
Right.
had to go to Vegas, and you can get away with anything in Vegas.
That's
You're
probably-
walking
that's
down the
true.
street with a 35mm camera. No one's gonna fucking
They allow
care.
they allow euthanasia.
They do.
Yeah,
So-
there's a lot of youth in Asia. Yeah.
Yeah,
Asia is a very there's a huge population
it's a young population
people.
It's youth.
just of people in general.
I'm embarrassed.
There's a huge population
I'm
in
cutting
Asia,
all of that out. It's so embarrassing.
which then in turn means there is a large amount of youth in Asia.
I'm embarrassed.
You can get away with things in Vegas pretty easily. It's true.
I think he saved all his money on casting,
Yeah.
cheap cast, and then he saved his money on not having to hire a casting director, not having to hire an editor,
It's true.
Taking
These were all
probably-
budget choices.
took no money for directing, and what was the other thing he did?
Screenplay.
He wrote it,
He wrote
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So I mean that's like half the crew.
Yeah. He's the above the line.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone else is below line. It's just him.
He should have just starred in this also.
Yeah, he should.
He had
He
a
could have played
camera
it.
in one hand and a boom mic in the other, and it's just going on like this.
I was gonna say for the stripping, there wasn't a whole lot of dancing in this. There was some in the front of the movie.
Yeah.
But I remember the stripping pole shot happening. I'm just like, damn, that's cool. What? I don't remember others using poles. Was this the only pole? I think that was it.
Yeah.
It's the only pole. Yeah, everyone. It was mostly lap dances, that we saw
Yeah. But not even that
in
much.
the club. Yeah.
I'm
'Cause-
stretching. I'm stretching
well,
here. I need to talk
The
about
movie's
something else.
not about lap dances.
No, that's the gimmick. That was the gimmick of the movie.
They were good lap dances, though. Those are some quality lap dances.
pretty
I have
Yeah.
to say.
Do you think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
No.
About your
That's an answer. Thank you.
what are your experiences doing lap dances
No.
for other people?
No.
No.
I have one final critique of
Oh,
the movie.
I have a critique also. Sorry.
Do it. Taylor's first. He went first.
I
go ahead.
did. I brought it up first.
Yep.
Do it. Do
Okay.
it.
I think
Same critique.
God damn it.
I'm embarrassed.
I think that Igor swooping in was projected a little too much.
Yeah. I can see
have
that.
a similar
I can see
critique, but yeah, but like how?
I mean, shots where he's literally looming in the background.
Yeah, and
just-
having his inner,
Yeah.
you can see his inner monologue going on.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you could just see him going like, "This isn't right.
Well, I
I
mean-
shouldn't be. I should do something." Yeah.
There's shots where they're telling shots where it's like heavy-handed foreshadowing, where it's him taking up a large amount of the frame
Yeah.
in the background while they're talking about how like this will never work out or
Well, and
whatever.
they have close-ups of him also.
Yeah,
Well,
so
just him.
Yeah,
But
they
to be
projected
fair,
a lot.
Yeah.
That is one of the ways the film subverted my expectations, because those shots led me to really expect that he was going to hit a breaking point and just like get violent with this family. Like I was ready for him to intervene and just like deck the mom or something, you know, like something like that.
If he
and it never got to that, you know.
Yeah, if they didn't have those shots, I probably wouldn't have been able to forgive the movie to like suddenly he's the guy. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But
Well, no, yeah, you had to have some. Ah, the rats are back.
they're opening the garage door.
I can forgive it. I think largely actually because of how the end plays.
Totally.
That kind of subverts a lot of the setup, because I would have hated it
If he was a white knight.
Yeah, if it was a white knight and then they lived happily ever after.
Right.
Like I kind of would have hated that.
Because she's not wrong about him. I mean, she's wrong when she's just like, "You're a rapist. You have rape eyes." But he was part of the dirtbag team.
Yeah, exactly.
And was restraining her and tying her up and shit.
Yeah.
He deserved to be bit on the neck like that.
He just happened to be the most relatively respectful
Right.
one.
Yeah. The thing, my critique is that he was a little too chivalrous, and I didn't really like that when he would. It was just after he took her home or took her to the mansion, back to the mansion, and in the plane he put his coat on her. He lit a cigarette in both of his mouth for her and him. Started talking about how her name meant something, and got her bags out of the trunk and put it in front of the house. Like, to me, it was like you said, or one of you said, it was heavy-handed a little bit. But I felt like it was piled on a little bit more in the end, where I'm like, oh, it's a very he's good because he's being chivalrous, and I'm like, that feels kind of old. That feels like a 90s kind of mentality. So
that's why I almost wanted to see him like turn on the family.
Yeah.
But again, I'll forgive it.
Well,
I guess.
And the other thing is, like, if he was like an old-fashioned kind of guy, then it would make more sense to me.
Right.
But he didn't really have any character development, so.
Nah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also the guy that like broke all the candy jars at the candy shop, and
I loved his little.
The last jar there, he's like, beep, poke. I love that he just took a handful of popcorn out of the thing he just hit a bunch of broken glass into.
He did that.
He's hardcore.
Yeah, he bashed. He's in the after he bashes the popcorn thing. Other stuff's going on in the foreground, but in the background, he grabs a handful of popcorn and is eating it.
I did not see that.
And I'm like, there's fucking broken glass in there, man.
No, he's badass.
He's badass. He's just like, damn.
Starts bleeding from the mouth.
Welcome to the Salty Splatoon. How tough are you? Oh, sorry. Sorry, you guys don't.
I don't know what that is.
You guys didn't grow up watching SpongeBob. Sorry.
Are you
Sorry, guys.
What is SpongeBob?
Are you a Costco guy?
We're Costco guys. Of course I get the chicken bake. Double chocolate chunk cookie.
What was the thing that
Boo.
Why don't we finish this episode?
this episode's so sparse. I don't have anything.
It's not.
It's not sparse. We just went on for a long time.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Sparse.
Look, guys, it was a good episode. Let's put it down.
Yeah, it's been a good run here. And look, the fact is, the movie just wasn't that interesting that we have that much to talk about.
It wasn't that good.
Wasn't that good? Wasn't that interesting? Kind of a downer, honestly. Kind of a downer.
Yeah, a little bit of a downer.
I
left the
Nothing
movie
happened.
sad.
I love the ending. I loved the ending. I loved the ending.
I didn't love the ending.
I'm
on the record now. I didn't love the ending. But it's a great movie.
Nothing happened.
This gimmick.
Nothing happened in this movie.
Guys, what was this movie about?
Nothing happened.
You okay, Kenny?
What kind of pizza is this movie?
What the fuck does that mean? Jesus.
I took some shrooms and I was like,
oh yeah,
Why'd you
movies
do
are
that?
pizzas. If
yeah.
you really think about
Nightmare.
If you think about it, though,
all movies.
movies are pizzas.
If this movie was of President Reagan, what kind of Reagan would it be?
No.
If President Reagan was a pizza,
Hey,
what kind of movie would he be?
I just realized that. Like,
Hey, so I got a crazy idea.
tell me this crazy idea.
If we were to compare our experience with this movie to a fictional pizza, or maybe even a real pizza,
That's a wild idea.
how would you do that? This is our rating system on the talkies. Trademark.
You sound very nervous.
Trademark 2024.
Do you need some validation?
I just don't want anyone to steal our idea. Okay, man. It started here first. This is our idea. All right.
All right.
You feel good?
Yep.
All right.
Let's do it.
Cool.
Yep.
If this movie was pizza, what kind of pizza would it be? This is hard. I can't go with anything
Hard
but,
pizza.
Man, it's difficult.
I know mine.
Yeah, do it.
Mine is real. This is a real pizza. No
Like
story.
grounded pizza. No gimmick.
No gimmick. No story. This is a real life pizza that you could
Boring.
buy right now in real life.
Sounds like a 0 out of 10 pizza.
No, that's how you know when the movie's really good.
Yeah.
Is if I'm giving it a real life pizza
Goddamn.
rating.
Goddamn.
and that would be Joe's Pizza in Manhattan,
Damn.
sold by the slice.
Damn.
You need to describe it because we haven't been there.
It's like the classic New York slice that you get in New York.
I see.
Thin crust, fresh. It costs $1, and it's delicious.
Wow.
Utterly delicious. You buy one, and it comes on a paper plate,
And it's
sticking out on both ends.
The paper plate gets really soft.
Yeah, a little soft. You just kind of hold it like this.
Yeah.
And it's utterly delicious. And you buy one, you eat it, and you're like, what the fuck? You buy one, and you walk across the street. You're in Manhattan. You walk across the street to the park. That's right there by Joe's Pizza. And you sit at the park, and you're eating this utterly delicious pizza. You couldn't buy a pizza this good in California anywhere.
Goddamn.
And you're getting to do it for $1
Goddamn.
in Manhattan, and you get to sit and people watch while you're eating this delicious pizza.
Jeez.
And you finish it too fast, and you're like, I'm going to walk back and buy one more slice.
That sounds
And you
awesome.
do, and you do the same thing and eat it again, and it was
want that.
just as good.
I want that.
Delicious pizza.
That's true, actually. That's actually true. That's real.
Thank you.
I did
Yeah.
critique the movie, so I should throw a little flaw in there. When you're walking over to the park, you step in.
Another slice of pizza.
No, there's like bird poop on the ground, and you're like, "Oh, that's kind of gross." You don't quite step in it. You just
You almost
you
do.
almost step in it. Like, ooh, and it doesn't really detract from your experience.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you noticed it.
It's just a fact of life.
Wow.
You okay there?
What the fuck's your problem?
Jesus Christ.
What's going on with you?
I took a nap today. Anyway,
Naps.
naps, am I right?
Go.
Okay, we're gonna stay in New York for mine,
Okay.
but not instead of Manhattan, we're going to Coney Island.
Okay.
We're going to
chili
Coney
dog
Island.
pizza, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
right next to like the candy and ice cream shop. Is a little pizzeria.
Get whatever the fuck you want, you know. It's old guys really old as fuck. so-
We're doing dope and doing dope. What if they made a rhyme or something back there? We're doing
That was I
smoking
loved that
smoking
scene.
dope in the candy shop.
Her line was hilarious.
Her boss was fun. This Helen
boss.
Keller motherfucker. Anyway. So yeah, there's a pizza joint right next to the candy shop there in Coney Island. You're there in like the late fall, early winter, so no one's there having fun. It's like kind of cold and bleak.
Oh yeah.
Your trash is blowing in the wind and all that. There's lots of seagulls, and you want some nice warm pizza. And this place has a delicious pepperoni pizza that is warm and greasy, and you know some pizzas are square and cut almost like you'd cut a cake, right?
Yeah.
Some pizzas are round and have your traditional wedge, right? This is a round pizza, cut cake style. Served,
So it's Little Caesars.
but it's round.
Cake
Little Caesars
style,
did squares.
squares.
Yes, it's cut in squares, but it's a round
it's a
pizza.
circle.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's served with a little spatula.
Oh.
And you can be like, I feel like crust, or you could be like, I feel like no crust. And you share it with your friends, and it's really good. And then you go to the strip club after.
Fuck. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it is great.
Delicious.
I mean, it's a little cold. There's trash blowing around and shit, but
Strip club.
yeah,
Yeah.
Strip. You might get some kind of illness at the strip club.
Oh, cool.
They're dirty.
Nice.
What the fuck?
They're fucking dirty.
What's your problem?
They're dirty.
Jesus.
Have you been to this part of New York? It's nasty. All right.
What is your problem?
That's it's a metaphorical pizza, Taylor.
Here we go.
I did that.
Here we go.
All right.
Okay, so
He's forcing it.
yep. this is my face. I'm gonna force it.
You seem real confident.
This is a pizza that you it's advertised over at a kid's birthday party. You go to your nephew's birthday party. He's a little kid, and you go to his birthday party because you have to go because you're bringing your son with you.
Okay.
And while you're there, you see a newspaper ad that is for a bunch of birthday stuff. How they just selling at Walmart for a bunch of kid stuff, and then they have this
Alright.
little part in the little section that says "Try our pizza," and you're just like, it's a strange thing to just have pizza right there. And then, so then your wife tells you, hey, we're out of paper plates. You got to go get some paper plates. And you're like, all right. So you take the thing with you just because, and you go over to the store, to Walmart, and you find the pizza place that you saw on the ad. And you're just like, I am kind of hungry. I'm going to try this pizza place. And so you go over there, and it's just like all like, it looks like kitty. It's like really kitty. You order the pepperoni pizza, and it comes to you, and it looks gorgeous. And you're just like, what? This is a kid's like pizza joint. And you eat it, and you're just like blown away. This is like one of the best pizzas you've ever had. And it's like greasy as fuck, and it's in kind of a dirty, Walmart. Right? This is kind of a, 5 out of 10 Walmart. But you're there, and you're like enjoying the fuck out of this pizza, and you feel like a goofball when you're sitting down eating it. And you're like, this is great. And no one else seems to like it that much, but you're having a really good time. And then you forget about the paper plates and you go home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because most people don't like this movie.
No.
But we do.
No. The point here was that when the trailer it didn't match the movie.
I got it.
And also,
I see what you did there.
The theater experience for us, there was 2 other people, and it was the smallest theater I'd ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, for a minute there, I thought we were going to have the whole place to ourselves.
Yeah.
And then the 2 other people came in right as the movie was starting.
So yeah. So that's the pizza.
Congratulations.
Hey,
thank you,
all right.
Thank you.
Okay, well.
Discord.
And us.
Yeah, let's end by saying join us on Discord to talk about what kind of pizza this movie was.
Yes.
And movies in general, honestly. Go to Discord.
Pizzas in general.
Discord. Oh, we can talk about pizza too. That's fine. And you've been listening to, watching, enjoying the talkies. You've been experiencing the talkies.
Wow.
And until next time, fade to black.
Hey, we did it. We did it.
Yay. Thank God.
Let's stop that.
Yeah.